Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell it the truth about silver. Today is Saturday, the 28th of September 2024. We're publishing our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 27th of September. Gold and silver markets were stronger last week, with gold once again hitting all-time highs a number of times, and very nearly reached $2,700, but certainly exceeded the £2,000 mark at one point. Silver rose too by a similar percentage. What happened, and can we expect further rises this coming week? Well, let's take a look. Before we advance this video, just a brief apology that there is a slight whirring sound in the background. We've tried to mitigate this as best we could, but unfortunately there was a device running which we couldn't shut off or delay the production of this video. So we apologize in advance. Now first, just a quick reminder, we've set up a second channel entitled Finances Do Matter, covering a whole array of financial topics. We've placed a link in the description box and comment section below for those who have not as yet joined that channel. Now, gold rose $37 last week, rising from $2,623 to $2,660, having hit a high of $2,686 and a low of $2,614, a rise of 1.4%. Gold spread between high and low was $72. Last weekend, we said gold would trade between $2,575 and $2,675, but could aim towards $2,700 as an outlier, which is broadly what occurred, just being $14 off that ultimate high. In sterling terms, gold rose £19, closing at £1,989, though it did at one point reach £2,007. And in euro terms, it rose €32, closing at €2,383. Silver rose 43 cents, moving from $31.21 to $31.64. having been as high as $32.75 and as low as $30.39, a rise of 1.4%, the same as gold. The difference between its high and low was $2.36. Last weekend, we predicted silver would trade between $29.75 and $32.50, but it could attempt to reach an outlier of up to $33. Again, it did this range comfortably. In sterling terms, silver closed at £23.69, that's up 24 pence on the week, and in euros it closed at 28.38 euros, up 0.39 euros. Gold to silver ratio remained unchanged at 84:1. Bitcoin's benefited, currently stands at $65,690, up $2,466. Equities were slightly higher. Dow Jones up 250 points at 42,313. The S&P 500 up 36 at 5,738. The Nasdaq Composite up 171 at 18,119. And the FTSE percentage-wise doing better, up 91 points at 8,320. Oils lower, thank goodness. Brent crude down $2.51 at $71.98. And WTI crude down $2.82 at $68.18. The dollar index stands at 100.38. That's down 0.34 on the week. So we've seen oil prices come down even though the dollar has also slightly weakened. Now last week we stated that Friday would be significant as the United States PCE or inflation data was being announced and market reaction would be determined by these results. Well, we did see a build-up during the week, but once the results were announced there was a small bout of profit-taking as the figures were broadly as anticipated, but still on track, nevertheless, for further rate cuts in 2024. The year-over-year PCE index fell from 2.5% to 2.2%, better than expected by 0.1%, while the year-over-year core PCE index data came in at 2.7%. That's 0.1% higher than the previous month, but exactly as predicted. Both personal income and personal spending were lower, though, in August than in July, and lower than forecast. This coming week, we have the Fed Chair, Jerome Powell, speaking on Monday, and other Fed governors speaking during the course of the week. Be interesting to see what they say, though we can bet it will be pretty dovish. On Tuesday, we have manufacturing PMIs for September and the ADP employment report on Wednesday. On Thursday, services PMIs will be announced as well as factory orders. But then on Friday, the all-important US non-farm payroll report for September, with forecasters predicting 144,000 new jobs. So again, next week, significant data, which may very well impact markets. As far as gold is concerned, we note that global ETFs added 28.5 tons of gold in August, reversing years of outflows and helping to fuel the price rally. The US Federal Reserve's dovish monetary policy and heightened geopolitical tensions in the Middle East helped push precious metal prices higher. The short-term outlook is indeed positive for gold, even though some investors may take profits. Geopolitics and the prospects of lower rates ahead will ensure that gold and silver prices will remain propped up and have further to advance. Silver is behaving similarly to gold, but chartists point out that there is some divergence in the moving average convergence-divergence indicator, and therefore silver might be running into a little bit of trouble, albeit temporarily. We're now beginning to see forecasters bravely predicting $38 silver before the end of 2024. We're not quite sure if we would go quite that high, but cannot rule out the possibility. So what do we forecast for the week ahead? It's a tricky one. We've had a good run, and we know rates are not going to fall before November at best. At the same time, markets do look ahead, and geopolitical tensions appear to be worsening and not improving. The influence these opposing factors have make weekly forecasts very difficult indeed, but nevertheless, we shall endeavour. We envisage gold is going to trade between $2,600 and $2,700 this week, with $2,575 and $2,725 as outliers. Silver, slightly wider spread because that could now move in either direction, and we're envisaging, though, possibly strengthening, but nevertheless looking to the downside too. We envisage that silver will trade between $30.75 to $33, with $30.25 to $33.50 as outliers. What do you think? Please do share your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening. We'd appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign, pop on over to Finances Do Matter if you've not already done so, and subscribe there. Have a great weekend. We envisage a prosperous week ahead for us all, particularly if you had bought your gold and silver a few years ago. You will now be looking at some very handsome profits.